go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills.
And welcome back to another episode of Bamboozler Plays Kerbal Space Program, and today you are joining us in episode 6, where we have, we're already in space. Look at that. You're coming into a two-parter. And, yeah, we managed to build a rocket. We did a really good circular orbit of Kerbin. And we've now created our maneuver node to Mimbus, and we are going to plan to land on Mimbus with this giant beauty of a rocket ship, which is called the Mimbus 3, but honestly, it's just a group project. It's a group project. Everyone's on board. We've got Bill Kerman on board. We've got Valentina on board. We've got Bob on board. Well, at least Bob and Bill, the two twins. And we've got the two married couple, Kerbins, of Valentina and Jebediah, on board. Don't worry, the kids, they're staying at Uncle and Auntie's house while this mission is going on. So they're getting into a world of trouble and just doing their fun thing. While the parents are going into space. Now, you join us at a crucial time, because in about a minute and a half, or a minute and 25 seconds, as I'm saying this right now, we're going to burn our engine for 1 minute and 57 seconds. That's going to bring us into an encounter with Mimbus. And we're going to be doing that with the Terrier engine in this fuel tank, which has hardly been touched. It's not that much fuel that's expended in here. Now, I don't know. I wish they would tell you, like, you know, this amount of fuel will, if you use full throttle, will be basically done after X amount of minutes. That would be a little bit more helpful. So I'm hoping it's going to be fine. We'll see. If it's not, we'll abort mission, or we'll just basically orbit Mimbus and come back with some good science, obviously. And then maybe we can regroup, and maybe we won't do a group project. But I'm confident. I'm confident in this mission. And we are definitely preparing for the burn that's going to come in about 30 seconds. And as we do, just have a quick glance there at the beautiful site that is Kerbin. This, at first I was like, this ocean looks weird with all its seaweed, but that's not ocean. That looks like grassland. Looks like a beautiful nature spot for all of our Kerbins to go on hikes. Not that they look like things that would go on hikes with their little legs, but you never know. Anyways, we're 10 seconds in, 10 seconds out, I should say. We're just about to prepare our burn here, so I'm just going to point retrograde, and in 1 second, here we go. We're going to fully expend everything and ensure that we are going to make an encounter with Mimbus. So it's good. It's good that we're doing this. I am just keeping an eye on the fuel. It is definitely emptying faster than I would like it to empty, basically. But what we can say is I'm going to keep it more manually angled. We've got a minute and a half of burn left. Because ideally what I would want is that this fuel also sort of allows us to circularize around Mimbus. That would be the most ideal situation. But if it doesn't, we do have 3 engines left with 4 fuel tanks on this lander pod, which is good. We've got about a minute left of burn to go, which is still making me a bit nervous if we're going to make it or not. I don't think that we are, considering the amount of fuel that we're going to be really close. So yeah. Give it a couple of seconds. Still burning. It's still burning. We need about 30 more seconds. 35 seconds. 35 seconds of burn. And the fuel's almost empty. We're gonna basically change the view point now, because we should be able to see our apoapsis is nowhere near where it should be. Does it increase by that much in that short of a period of time? I guess it does. Okay, we're going to detach that one, and then we're going to fire these rockets. It should definitely go a lot quicker, considering now that we've got 3 engines that are going to Mimbus. And I'm going to decrease the speed so that we're coming in a little bit more controlled, so we don't overshoot it. 10 seconds of burn left. Just keeping it at 10 seconds. Oh, that's the mun, so it's not good. Slow burn. Yeah. I'm afraid we might not have enough fuel to actually do a landing. And there we go. We're in. Periapsis is absolutely ginormous, but we made an encounter with Mimus. So that's good. That's good. That's good. So, we'll see where we go now. Let's speed up the time, and then we will be making a nice little encounter with Mimus. And hopefully we will see it appear, because I don't see it anywhere where we see it. We're going to turn off SES because then we could save our battery, because it does look like it's a bit of a longer journey than it is to the Mun. We should be disappearing from... There's the Mun, there's Kerbin. I don't see Mimus anywhere on the galaxy horizon. Could that be it? That little ball over there? This ball? Or is it that ball? I don't know. It is on a different plane. Is that the ball? No, that's too far. Where is it? That's the Mun. It's gonna be fun. We're all of a sudden just going to see Mimus become bigger and bigger and bigger. So we do want to keep tabs. See where we are on the map. Pretty far out. Pretty far out. Where is Mimus on this thing? So it's coming in on our right. It's far away. I guess like look at our speed. It's basically just come down to a crawl. We're in this massive elliptical orbit of Kerbin, and we're basically just going at a very small, short speed at this moment in time. We've already been in space for about a day and 4 hours, so it's definitely a long journey. We're coming closer and closer and closer to making an encounter, but yeah, we're definitely losing a lot of speed. I'm not inclined to click on more speed to get there, because what if we then miss it entirely and then basically the whole mission gets ruined? We don't want that. We're a budget space program, so we have to do things correctly. So let's just go back to this view, see if we can see. That's Kerbin, that's the Mun. You can see it orbit. Where is Mimus? It's like a phantom moon. It's so interesting that you just don't see it even from this distance. Like, it's very clear to see Kerbin and the Mun. Look how small all of that is. We've never been this far out in space. Let's just take a crew report while we're here, just to see if it does do anything. Where's Jebediah? Let's go and do a crew report. Why is that? Are the batteries empty? No. And do a crew report. That's weird. Can we do a science report? It's locked. Oh, because that's maybe because we're in this like weird speed? Yes. Okay, no changes. Okay, so here we are. Let's see if we can actually see it. So we're pointing into that. Well, where's the retrograde? So, hang on. So let's point this in the right direction. So we're going this direction. That's where we're going. Oh. There we go. Let's turn SAS off. So this is the direction that we're heading out. So Kerbin should be behind us. It is. Which means that Mimus has to be somewhere on this side. And I still don't see it. Is that Mimus? No, that's the Mun. Interesting. So, okay, we're going to speed it up. This is a really small little moon. Let's get back to this map. Speed it up a little bit. We're basically at a crawl speed right now. At a crawl speed. Where is Mimus? Is that it? That looks like a different color. It's at a higher plane, but that can't be it. Where is it? Is that it? No. Is that it? There it is. Look at that. That's Mimus. It is so small. Holy moly. Will we have enough fuel to land on it? And then, more importantly, get back? Because we already expended some of it to to go there. Probably. See, that's the thing about Kerbal Space Program, right? Like, it's always like, you know, do you want to take the risk and put everyone on this planet and knowing that you then also have to go rescue them? I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, it is 3 Terrier engines. It is a lot of fuel that's still left. And I'm assuming the, how do I say that? The gravitational pull of Mimus is not that large. Consider, look how small it is. I mean, we're getting really close to it. Where are we on the map? Look at that. Yeah, we're going to be making an encounter pretty soon. It is so small. Look at that. Compared to the Mun and Kerbin. Kerbin is still bigger from this, and we're really close to it. It's literally just a space rock. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens when we make. We're still not in his gravitational pull. Here we are. Now we are. Okay, let's slow it down. Let's check our map. Where are we in relation to this? So there's the periapsis. There's the apoapsis. So here we are. So if we let's see. Let's turn on SAS. Let's turn on retrograde. We don't have to slow down by a lot. Let's see what that does. There's nothing. Apoapsis, periapsis. Does it decrease it? It does, but not by a lot. Let's speed it up and just get to that apoapsis section. Periapsis section. I guess we're going at far too hard of a speed, so let's burn our fuel. Oh, what just happened? Something just happened. Let's just go to the other side. Look at that. Okay. So we're not actually in an encounter yet. We're going to be at this stage. Mimus escape? No. Mimus escape. So what is going on? This is not good. And we're also expending fuel, going back and forth, so we're definitely not going to land on Mimus. But I do want to try and orbit around it. So I think we do need to do this. So basically we need to slow down entirely. Oh wow, that was really close actually, where we were just at. But let's just do this. There we go. See, now it's working. There we go. Now we're in orbit. Okay. Yeah, and we only have half a fuel thing left. That's definitely. I don't think that's gonna be enough. And especially considering that we're almost. Yeah. I mean, let's just see what we do. What happens when we do add a maneuver node, just to know how much time basically it's gonna be to get to like close to the surface, which is still really not that, you know, this is going to be about 16, and so if we look at this, the burn time, what the heck, is it negative? Oh, is this because there is like a, it's a negative. Okay, that's not good. Let's cancel this. Why can I not do that? Okay. Why can I not exit this? There we go. I was almost, it was highlighting. This is very finicky. Let's get there and exit this one. I don't know if there's something wrong with that particular maneuver node. So now we've got rid of that maneuver node. let's put the maneuver node on the other side. And then we're gonna slow it down. I see it says again that it's in red. Okay, you know what? We can do this manually because we are already in a orbit. So look how fast that's going. Let's cancel this one. Close this. There we go. And then we can keep track of our periapsis, because basically what we do want to do is we do want to go into low orbit, right? And we just want to see, well, maybe we will have enough fuel. Okay, we're at 17,000 meters above its surface. That did expand a little bit. We've got half the tanks full. I just wonder how much speed we're going to be. We can warp here. Let's do that. How much speed we're going to be at this periapsis point. Which again, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. There's the dark side of Mimus. Let's just do a experiment here. Okay. Oh, no, don't transmit it. Capture it. And we'll log some atmospheric stuff, and we'll take some temperature checks, and we'll get some mystery goo, and that's all good stuff. Now, I'm thinking... Let's overwrite the crew report, and then we've got a bunch of good science that we just captured from, I believe that was, I didn't read it because I'm thinking too much. Let me review the data. So this is high space above. Okay, so that's good. So I'm thinking what we need to do is we need to go to its lower orbit, which we're just going to accelerate the time a little bit just so that we can get there a bit quicker. And we're going to check the speed, and if it gets to like, 300 meters per second, I don't think it's worth it that we try. Wow, what an interesting feature. It's going to be interesting to be on the light side of this thing, actually. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it's like a space rock. It's so jaggedy. And we're now just 22 kilometers, so let's see if we can do... No, let's not override that crew report, please. So this crew report is near Minmus, so that's good. So that means we're going to take our second stab at the material studies. 100 science. That's a lot. Mystery goo brings in 40 in itself. Let's take some atmospheric checks. 48. And what's the temperature like this close? Pretty much non-existent, but we have a bunch of science we just grabbed. So let's just put them all in here. And then I think we should just return. I know. Everything in me is just the group project is just too much. We basically got a C+. It's a C+ group project. I know our whole idea was, let's go to Mimus. Let's land there. Let's plant a flag, right? We did all the upgrades and everything else. I just think that by the time that we slow our vehicle down to a basic crawl, we're gonna cut it so short with the fuel. Like, ideally, I want to be in this situation where I haven't launched these 3 rockets yet, right? Like, that's kind of where I want to be, because then I know, and because we haven't done it yet, I don't know how much we need either. It just doesn't feel safe, because we also need to return. So what we are going to do is we are going to see how much it actually takes for us to get back into Kerbin orbit. So we're going to accelerate out of this particular one, and that wasn't a lot, but it has put us into a really large orbit around Kerbin, meaning we're going to need to expend quite a lot of fuel to basically cut this into a much shorter distance. So I think there's 2 things that we learned from this episode. One, Mimus looks really nice. And I think if we ever are going to land on Mimus, like, I really like these flat areas here, right? Like, they look like they're ice seas or salt flats or something like that. The rest looks really jaggedy, which I would assume, again, is a different type of biome. I mean, this definitely looks like a plateau, which is quite nice, but you don't want to be landing, like, in these like crater areas and everything else, right? Because then, you know, there's a possibility of being tipped over. Even though I think this is quite a sturdy ship, don't get me wrong. So we learned about that. We also learned that it takes a long time, 13 days, to get to Minmus. So the kids, Valentina and Jebediah's kids, they're having a party at Uncle and Auntie's. I hope they're doing okay. And we learned a little bit about our staging and with our fuel, that we need to be, maybe we need to be a bit more slim in terms of, or lean in terms of like what we send for a lander. So maybe a 2 crew type thing, or maybe just even a 1 crew thing for now, considering we do have big rockets. But you know, I did like our launch. I think we got into orbit pretty well, but I think what we brought with us was so heavy that we expended so much fuel just to get into Kerbin orbit, and then so much fuel also with just the Terrier engine taking this entire thing into Minmus. Maybe this would work for the Mun, but again, the Mun having a bigger gravitational pull, I think we need to readjust how we create our lander, because I don't think, like, if we were to do something like this, we would probably want to do a dock in space, right? So that we can conserve as much fuel as we possibly can. So lots of learnings, so that's really good. So we're going to accelerate the speed even more so that we get out of the trajectory of Minmus. And then hopefully when we get to the apoapsis here, or even now, let's just try it now. I mean, why not? Let's do it. Come on. Jebediah, do your thing. There we go. And let's decelerate the orbit. And let's get closer and closer and closer to Kerbin. So the periapsis is certainly decreasing. And again, by the time that this periapsis decreases even further and further and further, we're expending more and more fuel. So I'm actually quite happy that we aborted the mission. Because yeah, it's definitely teaching me a lot about this game and some of the physics and all of the encounters and everything else that's going on. Because even now, you know, it's still about 6 million away, and the fuel is emptying out quickly. And I'm only, you know, just a bit of thrust. I'm not even going full throttle. What we basically want to be doing is kind of like the last time, is that we want to be close to the actual surf. Oh, but that's okay, because that's interesting. We basically be, if we go in this trajectory, we'll be making an encounter with the Mun after. But we basically want to be in the atmosphere on our return. We're almost there. 63. Okay, that's really good. So we're gonna come back. And then once we're at the periapsis, what we're going to do is we're just going to expend the rest of our fuel to make the orbit a little bit smaller, and just really decrease the speed. Because I think by the time we're going to get here, and we're going to actually warp here, because that's going to save some time, is we're going to be at like a crazy amount of speed. Like I'm predicting like 4,000 meters per second, or maybe even more, 4,500 meters per second, because when we come back from the moon, it was around 3,000, and that orbit was a lot smoother than this one. We're definitely falling at a quick rate here, and we're also finding out that our communication to Minmus didn't work. Our communitron basically didn't communicate back, so that's interesting to know. Or if maybe this was on the no, because this thing was spinning quite a bit. So we're gonna move over even further. So we're gonna warp. We're gonna test our speed, and we're gonna come back to this viewpoint as we see the Mun and Kerbin come back into view. So this is great. Yeah, we're pretty high up. We're gonna go manual speed here, and what's the speed that we're going at? 3.2. So not 4,000, but 3.2. It's quite a lot. Now we have received all. Yeah, we did review all of our data. Let's just quickly check if there's any more data here for us to study on, because we're gonna get rid of these things. So that's nice. 5 science is a nice little pick-me-up bonus. The mystery goo is gonna give us something as well, as is our logging the temperature. No, it's not. And let's see if the temperature does anything in this height. It doesn't. Does this do anything? Does not. Okay, so let's fire our engines away, slow this thing down as much as we possibly can. It's gonna circularize this orbit to this point. At least this is good, because we're not gonna escape the what is it? We're not going to get into an encounter with the Mun, which is good. But what will happen is, as you can see, we're going to be falling and falling and falling, and this is going to slowly decrease. But I do think that we haven't touched the surface enough, and there's not enough friction for us to actually come back down to curb. And as you can see, our altitude is actually increasing. So meaning that we're probably going to do another circular orbit of Kerbin itself. So I'm going to increase the speed. Because at this point, yeah, we basically just want to be... this is very slow. Let's see if we can just warp. Yeah, warping does a lot better things for us. So let's just test to see if our Communitron... Well, I guess the Communitron works up until the moon, the Mun. So we're gonna have to think about how we're gonna do this, because even like the landing on Mimbus seemed a little bit more challenging than I originally had thought. But the good news is we're gonna have a bunch of science, and that's gonna basically allow us to regroup, rethink, and redo the mission in some form of capacity. I think we are gonna earn some cash from what we have done here. Let's just check up on our battery situation. Where did I put the batteries on this? Oh, plenty of batteries. So we're good. The batteries are good. Yeah, that's mostly because I think we turned off the SAS, and we're not really using the Communitron that much either. At this point, let's just view what happens here. We're gonna do another orbit. Oh my goodness, this is a really long way back down to Kerbin. This is decreasing, but we're increasing again, so boom, 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 boom. Can we speed this up, please? Oh my goodness, this is I wonder how many circles we're gonna have to do. Is it gonna be another one after this? What's the 5 million? Yeah, this is we're spending a lot of time in space. So again, it just goes to show, right? It was the right decision to go back because we didn't have enough fuel. Our fuel is basically expended, and we're basically slowly falling down into Kerbin, touching the upper atmosphere, using that as kind of like a break, as much as we can. But again, I don't think that we're gonna be. Nope. I think we're gonna go right back up into space. This is now fallen down to 4, so maybe it's like 2 or 3 more rounds around Kerbin. It's basically looks like what we're going to be doing, so let's warp again. Come on, let's go. Warp's already in progress. Okay. Warp again. Warp faster, please. There we go. Alright. Another brilliant circle around Kerbin. So yeah, we're learning more things as well. The fact that this is a really slow way of coming back. Did not expect the mission to cost 30 Kerbin days. That's a long time to be away. And at this point, let's go here. We're not going to be touching any more of the. Let's use the SAS. It's not like we're really going to be doing much, anyways, in terms of heat that's going to come down. We're slowing down quite a bit, which is good. The apoapsis is coming down, but we're not really touching down on Kerbin. In any kind of way. So what it does mean at the point of basically coming down is that we're going to be pretty slow, which means our heat shield should be fine. So I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, let's warp again. This is, I guess, warp speed, right? This is we warp here. That's what we do. We warp. Yeah. If you're just joining us in this episode, welcome to episode 6, where we are just warping around Kerbin because we did not bring enough fuel to go to Mimbus. And we are struggling on actually returning all this good science that we have captured in Mimbus. It's taken a while. Yeah. This is basically also just a way of showing how maybe a comet could one day hit Earth. You know, talk about doomsday. Is that it could fall into this kind of an orbit, right? And then it just could, at that point, obviously, if it hits our atmosphere, it then gets really distorted, and then it could break into many different parts, causing its orbit to then, change dramatically in that kind of way, right? And obviously those things are a lot heavier than what I built here. But yeah, this is how it can work. At least with space debris, it could work this way, right? Like, that's how it happens. So now we're at 3 million on the apoapsis. So yeah, predict probably another 2 or 3 circular orbits around Kerbin. At least it's not taking as many days as it was before. But like I said, the group project, I'm gonna give it a C+. You know, we got some good science. We didn't achieve what we wanted to achieve. Hence why it's not an A or an A- or a B+, because to me those are good grades. I think we did all right. We got a lot of science and we learned a lot from this, right? And our effort was high. I mean, we really we decided we're gonna go with everyone to Mimbus, you know, which is a massive risk. This is really not slowing down enough. It's gonna take a while. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to commercial break. And when we return from our commercial break and a talk from our sponsors, we're going to see if we can actually land our beautiful spaceship on Kerbin with our parachutes. So be right back. Welcome back, and thank you for listening to our sponsors. It was wonderful for you to have the chance to look at that. So we're finally in a situation where we're actually going to probably land in the next turn. So question to everyone that is watching, if you've made it this far, lock into the comment section how many times do you think that we circularized around Kerbin before we're actually in this spot. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think about it, and then type it in the comment section. And then you know, happy to answer any of the questions that might come by. You know, if you think it was 3, or if you think it was 4, if you think it was 400, it's really up to you. One thing is certain: I didn't get any more bolder, and my hair didn't get any more whiter. So don't think it's like a ridiculous number. But now that your answer is locked in 3, 2, 1, it was a total of 12. 12 times. That's a lot of times. But we're back. And back is good. So you can see here, our apoapsis is all the way down to 84, and there's our periapsis here. So we're gonna warp all the way to this side, and I think that at this point in stage, we're not gonna go back up again. Our ablator has, or our heat shield has taken a bit of a pounding, as you can see here. We're going into the atmosphere again. Has taken a bit of a pounding because we've been hitting the upper atmosphere most of the time with a lot of the stuff. And I was thinking what we could try, but it's a bit of a risk because we don't have any heat shields on these things, is that we should land with the entire thing intact, right? We do have a lot of parachutes, but yeah, I think that's too much of a risk. Let's not do that. Let's make sure our, you know, what if they were to explode and then the explosion explodes the rest and everything else. We got quite a bit already coming anyways. And also on top of that, these landers are attached there anyway, so we can test that. So we're gonna decouple our science experiments. I think we have, let's just collect all of our data again, because we did have a bit more. And we're gonna decouple them, and 3, 2, 1. Decouple our science bay, which leaves us with a very thin and skinny little return module. I'm gonna speed up the time a little bit because I'm hoping that we're gonna get low enough, because the apoapsis is definitely, I think it's gonna go below 70 this time around. I don't think, you know, and this one's also decreasing tremendously. It was at 45, 48, something like that before. So we might actually land close. No, we're gonna miss the Kerbal Space Center, our budget space center. As we're flying right over it right now. There's our ship far in the distance. One of our science bays tumbling down. Hopefully it doesn't crash into our space station. But yeah, I think we're now in a good spot, actually. I think we're inside. Yep, we're inside Kerbin territory. We don't have a periapsis anymore. It's decreasing. It's almost going down to 0. There is our space station right over there, and an island we should at some point visit for sure. The beautiful mountain range that we should also certainly visit at some point, and the ocean that we've explored many, many times. Just heard an explosion in the background. I'm assuming it's some of the debris that we left behind. But here we are, hurtling down. The ablator is not taking much more damage, but as you can see, that's how many times we went around. It was many, many, many times, because I do expect it now to take quite a bit of damage. One of the, or all 4 of the landing gears they might explode before. I'm hearing more explosions, which is not good. More debris behind us. But I think we're slowing down pretty nicely. I can tell you that the Kerbonauts are pretty excited about returning home. The mission took 32 days and 5 hours and 58 minutes as we're speaking, which is a lot. Now we're going to release our parachutes and we're going to gently crash into the ocean of Kerbin. So this is good, which means we're not really going to be testing our landing gear. We're coming down pretty fast, I must say, so we're going to deploy this chute as well. Hello, are we going to land at all, or are we going to crash straight into the ocean? This is better. Much, much better. We're going to put down the landing gears just for the fun of it, just so that we've actually used them once. And yeah, I think overall the mission was a success. I'm going to keep the speed as it is. We know that at least these parachutes, they've done a tremendous job of slowing us down. It's gotten us down to all the way to 4.8 seconds, which is good. And in this game, you know, often you could say like, oh, why don't you just cut a chute so that it speeds up and everything else? Well, that's where things can go wrong. You need to be patient when you play this game. It's important to be patient. So we're going to keep being patient because we only have a couple more meters to go. And then we're going to slow it down just so that the game's physics doesn't go all wonky on us and just like crashes our ship. And our landing gears touched down. And we are back on Kerbin. Fantastic. And we're actually 1 meter under. Isn't that amazing? I haven't seen that one before. So maybe we can take a crew report here. No, from under the water? No? Okay. So let's recover the vessel. And let's see where we end this episode on. We went to Mimus. We did a group project. We got a C+, so that was good. We got 518 science back, which is amazing. And we can call ourselves a KSP again because we got 300,000 Spaceos back in our bank account. So that's actually fantastic news for us, which does allow us definitely to start to at least think about where we want to go next with in terms of the missions and everything else that we want to do. And I'm really happy that we can also get a lot of this science as well, because that will allow us to progress and get more of the things that we probably need to go land on these planetary bodies, and then eventually as well to then leave, you know, the Kerbin orbit sphere of things and go do the other things, not because it is easy, but because it is hard, as one JFK might have once said. We got some experience from our group project, so that's really good. Lots of experience for everybody. Jebediah is even a level 2 pilot now, so don't know what that does, but that's great. We want that. And with that being said, I think we're going to leave it here. So again, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, wherever you are, where you may be watching. And take care and see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.